Gedevach. So I'll tell you, Maisa, one of the great Chassidish Rebbes was the Kotzker Rebbe, rendezvous of Kotzk. So he had a very interesting custom. His custom is that he would rarely take money from any Chassidim. Rarely take any money. If he was willing to take money, and for the most part he would then divide up to tzedakahs, then that was considered to be an unbelievable covet. It meant that you yourself was a big tzaddik, because he would not take money from anybody. He would only take money from very, very holy Jews. So there's one particular chassid of his that had the schus to support the Kotzker. The Kotzker was willing to take money from him, which was a huge haskama. That was a huge endorsement that this chassid is an erlich yid, his money is kosher, and so that was a big covet for him. One day, or I guess 1 month, when he gives some funds to the chutz of the Kotzker, all of a sudden, he gets the check back. It gets sent back to him. So he doesn't know what's going on. So he goes to the Kotzker. He says, Rabbi, because he's nervous that maybe Chas v'Shalom he did something wrong and now he's not worthy of the honor. So he goes to the Kotzker. He says, Rabbi, if there's something I have to fix, I'll do tshuva. I feel bad. So the Kotzker said, No, it's not you. It's not you. So the Chassid says, so what is it? I want to be able to have this chus to support the Rebbe. So the Kotzker said like this. He says, sometimes when a person has parnasa, the source of one's parnasa is Hashem. But then there's intermediaries, you have your employer, you have the business deal, there's sort of the in-betweens, And so sometimes a person gets so caught up in the in-betweens that you forget the source. So sometimes what Hashem does is that he, closes off the parnasa to remind you of where it's all coming from. So the Kotzker said, so I'm worried. What's the Rebbe worried about? He said, you're the source of my parnasa, right? So if Hashem has to test me, because everyone has to get tested at some point, So if Hashem has to test me, it means to remind me of where the source ultimately is, which is Hashem. It means Hashem's going to stop your parnasa, right? Because you're my in between. So it means that He's going to shut off your parnasa, Chas v'Shalom, in order to test me. So I don't want that to happen to you. So therefore, I'd rather not take your money. And so the chassid turned to the chassid and he said, Rebbe, Aval Pikin, Adarabba, B'Simcha Rabba. If halavai, I should be part of the nisyonis of the Rebbe. And if it means that my parnasa will be shut off in order for the Rebbe to work out whatever the Rebbe has to work out, I'm happy with that. So the Kotzker said, are you sure? He said, yeah, 100% believe Shalom. Okay, fine. So he continued to take the money. A few months later, something went wrong in the business, and things began to take a dive. And this chassid became amish destitute, and the situation became very, 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 very difficult. So he goes to the Kotzker for a bracha, and the Kotzker says to him, so you remember our conversation? He said, yes. He says, yeah, are you still makabel b'simcha? So he said, with a smile, he said, b'simcha Rab, if my parnasa taking a little bit of a dip is because of my hiskashus to you, to the tzaddik, I'm makabel b'simcha Rab. The Kotzker smiled, and the Kotzker said, okay, that's Hashem, so you should have a parnasa b'ravach. And just a little while later, the parnasa not just came back, but increased double-fold. And so this is sort of the Jewish people, Our connection to Rebbeinu Shalom is solid, and even if sometimes that connection demands that we go through whatever it is that we go through, it's b'simcha Rabbah. We're happy to be connected to Rebbeinu Shalom and to Torah mitzvahs, no matter what the situation is. And when we're makabel b'simcha, just like this chassid was able to double down his parnasa, so when we're makabel b'simcha, so Be'ez Hashem, all the shefa will increase for us as well. We should like to only experience shefa in a good way, in a healthy way. V'yizkal tzad barachim and me'er v'meinu. Amen.